Good. You can never take for granted 3 points away from home. You know, going to Seattle is always a difficult place to go play. You know, with the travel, the time difference, the turf, all those challenges you face when you go to Seattle. But I thought we handled the game really well. I think we controlled for the most part the tempo of the game. They adapted to us. They played five at the back, which was a surprise because they haven't shown that all season long. But after the first 10 minutes, I felt we understood the roles and responsibilities of each individual, created a lot of opportunities in that first half. And then I would have liked to have seen us progress from there and get more opportunities to score. But it's another solid 1-0 victory this season.
Looking ahead now, playing Washington again, it seems like you guys have played them a lot over the last 5 months. It's become a bit of a rivalry just because of the stake of the games that you guys have played recently. What are you kind of expecting from them this weekend?
Yeah, two teams that are competing to ultimately win the Shield, so there's not a lot of room for error. It's fine margins. You know, they are coming to our place, and we want to make that a hostile environment with the fans coming out and supporting us. But it should turn out to be an entertaining game. Like I said, both teams are in good run of form, and so we're hoping that we get the good side of it by getting the 3 points.
Obviously, the Challenge Cup probably leaves a little bit of a bad taste in the players' mouths. How much do you kind of think that may fuel some of the fire heading into this weekend?
Yeah, I mean it's natural, right? You never want to see a team celebrate in front of us, especially at our home stadium in front of our fans. But that's what happened. That was in the past, and you know we were hoping to get a different result. I thought our performance in that last game was good. I thought again we controlled the game. You know, they played for penalties, and it came down to a shootout. But you know, it's a different formality in this game, and so we want to make sure we set the tone right early on in the game and sustain that throughout the game.
Considering that was basically, preseason, first game of the season essentially, how much do you feel the team has kind of grown from that point to now?
Yeah, they have. I think you never know until you get that first game out of the way. You know, we've had to suffer some injuries as well, so both teams to some respect. And that's been challenging. You know, we've played 4 games and had 3 injuries, and those are things you can't control, but it happens, and so we move on, and we know we've got a really good squad here, and when called upon, we know that every single player is going to pull their weight and do a job for the team and ultimately put their best foot forward and try and win us the game. So those are the challenges we face, but it's good that we have a good roster and we can rely on anyone at any given time.
Kind of going off of that, I mean, you've talked about depth, over the last couple of years and just how you've been able to build that cohesion and that consistency within the team of when anyone gets hurt, someone can come in and do the same job. I mean, how much have you taken just pride in that fact of being able to build that roster of players that can come in and, you don't lose any job?
Yeah, it takes time, right? I think there's been moments where we've relied on certain individuals all season long, and you know the challenges you face within the league, also international football as well, and you know going straight into it after that camp. But yeah, we've managed to put together a really good roster, a really good culture as well, where everyone feels valued, and when they're called upon, they're willing to do a job for the team. And so, yeah, we have that ability to rotate and twinkle with the starting lineup and still be competitive within the game.
How tough can it be when you have a player that comes in for an injured player, they play really well, and that injured player gets healthy again? How tough does that kind of decision become of, going with the player that has earned that spot versus the player that is coming back from injury and kind of trying to find them minutes to get back?
Yeah, it's probably the hardest and most difficult part of the job when everyone's fit and capable and able to perform. It does really come down to fine margins, and ultimately you got to go with your gut sometimes and think what's the best solution to go out there and win the game. And so far we've done a great job. It's unfortunate that injuries are part of the game. But you have to move forward, and you have to make sure that a player is ready to go out there and perform. And so we've done that in our first 4 games. We've faced adversity within it, and we've come off some really good positive results.
How much does just, I mean, that run last year, obviously, and the consistency play into just how this team has been able to continue that into this year?
Yeah, we made a real focal point of retaining the majority of the roster and bringing in some good, talented players along that way, and so we've managed to do that. They've implemented into our game model really well. You know, implemented the culture really well. And yeah, just feeding off what we achieved last year, but that's also in the past. We have to look forward. We have to understand that, you know, we are the champions, and teams are going to adapt and put their best game in front of us, and we have to perform at our highest every single week. So that's a different challenge to what we face in recent years, but it's one that everyone's thriving and enjoying and motivated to go out there and perform every week.
All right, next up we are joined by defender Oyani. Oyani, you made your debut, your NWSL debut, and your debut for the club last week against Seattle. What was that moment like coming on and having that Pride jersey on?
It was a very special moment. I was really, really happy to make my debut, and I'm really happy to do it with the Orlando Pride.
And Oyani, just since coming here and joining the Pride, been here for a couple weeks in Orlando, how are you adjusting with the team and all the rest of your teammates?
Everything's going really well. Everyone has helped me a lot adapting to the team, to the club, to Florida, everything. So I really appreciate it, and I'm really happy to be here.
Oyana, just what was kind of the things you heard about the club coming here from Real Madrid? You know, overall, what did you think?
Everything I heard and they told me was really good about the club, and they won last year, so you want to come here, play with these players, and I'm really glad that I'm here now.
What's kind of the biggest thing that you kind of hung your hat on for your career? What is the thing that you like to do the most in terms of on the field?
Well, help my teammates to win every match, so I'm trying to work to be able to do that. So that's my plan now.
How have you fit in with the defense and just kind of communicated with the back line and found your way?
Good, really good. As I told, everyone has helped me a lot, and if I don't understand something, they come with me, they try to explain me, so it's really nice.
Bringing that championship culture and the winning mentality from Real Madrid, how much do you feel that just kind of fits in seamlessly with this team?
Yeah, I think it kind of works because here you have to win every match to be on top of the table. So I think it's just similar to what I was used to in Madrid.